The UFC legend Nate Diaz will be taking a bout with the UFC 279 taking place in September. Diaz will be meeting with the undefeated Khamzat Chimaev, and this matchup has raised a lot of concerns among fans and fighters like Leon Edwards and Dan Hardy in the MMA community. What is the reaction of Leon Edwards and Dan Hardy to the decision of Dana White and the matchmakers? Was Dana White in any way affected by the reactions of Leon Edwards and Dan Hardy? Stay tuned and ensure you watch till the end to find out, as we bring to you how Dana White explains Nate Diaz's against Khamzat Chimaev. Let's get started. UFC President Dana White has made it known that seeing Nate Diaz will leave the promotion is sad, but his last bout promises to be exciting and memorable. The long journey of Nate Diaz in the Ultimate Fighting Championship will be coming to an end in the main event of UFC 279, as Diaz makes his 31st and final appearance against one of the toughest up-and-coming UFC star, Khamzat Chimaev. This matchup is coming after a very long period of looking for a fight for Diaz. Dana White has remained resolute that pairing up Diaz and Chimaev is a good decision. The UFC president has gone as far as explaining how they came to this conclusion. While speaking with reporters at the DWCS 47 post-event news conference, Dana White said that, "I care about Nate a lot. I like Nate. Nate came in here long before that fight was ever made, and we were talking about it being his last fight. I said, listen kid, you think about the wars that Nate Diaz has put on, the incredible fights and big fights that he's done with us, go do whatever you want to do, man. But getting a fight done with him isn't as easy as it seems. Everybody's like, well, why don't you make a fight? Well, he asked for Francis Ngannou, you know? I could go on forever, but I won't. We got it done. That's the fight he wanted, we made it, and here we are." Contrary to the opinion of most people, the UFC boss sees the fight as something that a lot of fans will love to watch. "It's a good fight," White said. "It's a fight that people will want to see. It's a fight that people will be interested in, so we're gonna do it."
I care about Nate a lot. I like Nate. And Nate came in here before that, long before that fight was ever made. And we were talking about it being his last fight. And, you know, I said, listen, kid, you think about the wars that Nate Diaz has put on and the incredible fights and the big fights that he's done with us. Go do whatever you want to do, man. But, you know, getting a fight done with him isn't as easy as it seems. Everybody's like, well, why don't you make a fight? Well, why don't you make a fight? Well, he asked for Francis Ngannou, you know, and I could go on forever, but I won't. We got it done. That's the fight he wanted. We made it, and here we are. And it's a good fight. It's a fight that people will want to see. It's a fight that people will be interested in.
Nate Diaz is presently on a 2-fight losing streak. At the UFC 244, Diaz lost to Jorge Masvidal via a stoppage. Then his next fight was against Leon Edwards at the UFC 263. The UFC veteran also lost by a unanimous decision. White went further to note that several fighters have hung their gloves in recent times and it is difficult to get used to. He mentioned the likes of Jessica Ai and Donald Cowboy Cerrone. "My big thing is it's just all about getting people out at the right time. Some you do and some you don't. They're able to do whatever they want to do. So if they want to go and continue to fight, that's up to them." While it seems like Diaz might be getting the fight that he had always clamored for, his last opponent Leon Edwards feels the promotion is being unfair to the UFC veteran. Edwards stated that Diaz has contributed a great deal to the UFC and deserves to be let down in a graceful way. "If I had to put money on it, I'd probably go Khamzat, but I'd love to see Nate to get it done," Edwards told MMA Junkie and other reporters during a recent media scrum in London. "He's done so much for the company and I wish they gave him a veteran a nice fight to bow out to. To give an up-and-coming guy that's had 4 or 5 fights in the UFC and a wrestler guy as well, I think they messed up. They should have given him a better fight, but I would love Nate to get it done. But as I said, if I'm betting a man, I'd probably go with Khamzat." Edwards holds his former opponent in high regard and also used this opportunity to make him the very best after leaving the promotion. "You are not like Nate. He is who he is," Edwards said. The former UFC commentator Dan Hardy has also criticized this pairing and has termed it cruel mismatch and is almost criminal. "It feels like we're getting to the point where someone should start thinking about pressing charges," Hardy told Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. "It doesn't feel like a fair fight. It feels like a very, very cruel thing to do to someone that is a legitimate legend. Because they've spoken out against the organization, they're going to get executed live on TV. That's kind of how it feels, and it makes me feel uncomfortable to think that's the way it's going to go down. According to Hardy, this decision of the UFC was most likely because Diaz was eager to leave and had spoken against the organization. Diaz even went as far as saying on MMA Hour that he was being held hostage by the promotion. Prior to this time, Diaz was supposed to meet with Dustin Poirier at the UFC 230. Later on, this fight was cancelled, and when the UFC saw that Diaz was in a hurry to pursue other ventures, they gave him a fight with Chimaev. Hardy went on to state that the probability of the fight hurting Diaz was very high. I hope, desperately hope, that Nate at least comes through it alright, but after watching what Khamzat did to Rhys McKee and to John Phillips, yes, of course, Nate's got good jiu-jitsu, but there comes a point where jiu-jitsu is nullified by good wrestling. Hardy said, "It happened in the early days of the UFC, and it would happen against Nate if it hits the floor. I think he gets nullified, and I think he gets beaten up horrendously from the top position. I think it's going to be uncomfortable to watch, and I think it's going to leave the UFC in a very, very bad light." With countless criticisms of the Diaz vs Chimaev fight coming from different angles, Dana White has not failed to drop his own comment either. The UFC president responded to the criticism of Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev. White also seems to be so sure of what he is doing, said that Edwards and Hardy should focus on fighting and not worry about promoting. "I love when fighters or other people or anybody else give us advice on this incredibly successful business that we've built," White told Yahoo Sports. "It cracks me up. So I'm looking at Francis Ngannou or Khamzat Chimaev and a couple of other ones that were good either. I'm going to take Khamzat. I can tell you this, Leon Edwards, Dan Hardy, and anybody else out there yapping has never dealt with the Diaz brothers, okay? It's a very unique experience. It takes a very freaking long time, and we got through it, and here we are. It's a very popular fight people are going to want to see, that people like, and everybody's getting what they want. Dan Hardy and Leon Edwards don't have to watch it. They can go to the movies that night." White also went on to say that giving Diaz an easier opponent would have been the wrong move, bearing in mind that Diaz had always fought tough people in his career. Imagine this, Dan Hardy, Leon Edwards. You have millions of fight fans all over the world. White said, "I give fights people want to see. I come out and say, you know what? Nate Diaz's last fight, we're going to give him this guy who we think is a really easy fight for Nate Diaz. Let him bow." Come on, you two. Wake up, boys. It's not how it works. Do you think Nate Diaz wants to go out like that? That's why you guys better stick to fighting and stay out of promoting. In the midst of all the criticisms and with Nate Diaz being rated as an underdog in the Diaz vs Chimaev fight, Chimaev's head coach Andreas Michael has disagreed with the popular opinion. "It's bull," Michael told Submission Radio. "Pure bull, like Nate Diaz has fought everyone and given Leon Edwards a run for his money. Like, alright, Leon Edwards was winning every round, but he gave Leon Edwards a tough fight. He's at no means an easy opponent for us. And Nate Diaz is probably gonna make money."
Nate Diaz has fought and given Leon Edwards a run for his money. Alright, Leon Edwards was winning every round, but he gave Leon Edwards a tough fight. He's at no means an easy opponent for us, and Nate Diaz is probably gonna make money.
Meanwhile, a betting line that dropped via Best Fight Odds has put Diaz as a plus 775 underdog, while Chimaev is a massive favorite at minus 1100. The probability of Chimaev winning is a whopping 91.67%. What do you think of this fighting odd? Do you think Leon Edwards and Dan Hardy went too far? You can let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.